You are listening to the Vaultcast, the official podcast of the B-Movie Film Vault, with your hosts, Jordan Guerin and Silent Steve Oldford.
Hey everybody, this is Jordan.
And this is Steve.
And this is the Vaultcast.
It's been a while. It feels like forever.
Yeah, it
really
has
does.
been. Too much stuff going on in our lives.
We're kind of winding down. Some of the dust is settling on the things that we're doing, and I think we're going to have a chance to drop some more podcasts on you guys, so I hope you've been hanging in there waiting for us.
So, to start off the show this time, let's discuss Guardians of the Galaxy.
They call themselves the Guardians of the Galaxy. This might not be the best idea.
Let's discuss... I watched Godzilla early in the summer, and I thought I was so high off that movie. I loved it.
3 times, right?
4. I saw it 4 times, actually.
That's right, you took your dad to see it.
I took my dad to see it really late after it, like 10 weeks after it had been out. Anyway, loved it. We had a head over heels show that we made about it.
Our first podcast was just us gushing about it.
And I was like, there's no way a better movie this summer is going to come out. And then Dawn of the Planet of the Apes came out, and I really felt like I couldn't be honest with myself and not say that was a better movie.
Yeah.
It was much more emotional, and the performances in it were amazing, and I was like, wow, this has got to be the movie this summer. And then Guardians came out. Guardians is without a doubt the movie of the summer. It's done. There's no way you can how can it get better than this at this point? I'm like, I was so... It makes you feel sad, it makes you feel happy, it makes you want more, it does everything a movie is supposed to do.
It covers the entire emotional
I haven't seen a movie
spectrum.
this good in over a decade, I don't think. I can't think of a better one.
And it came out of nowhere, too.
I wasn't expecting this from Marvel. I'm so proud of them right now for what they let James Gunn do.
And that's the thing. They let him do everything he wanted. They gave him complete creative control. They had notes for him, of course. The producer said, we want this in the movie. But that's the thing Marvel's been doing. They've been giving newer talent the reins on certain projects. Guardians was written by somebody we've never heard of before.
And the first, Nicole Perlman, who's, I think that's her name.
Yeah, Perlman.
Who's the first woman screenwriter of a Marvel movie, superhero movie.
Yeah, she worked with James Gunn on it.
Going on to do a Black Widow movie, I think.
Yeah, she's doing the treatment for the Black Widow movie that's in progress. I don't think Natasha Romanoff needs her own movie, but I will not argue against more Scarlett Johansson in tight leather.
That could be like, well, I mean, look, Lucy did well. Lucy proved that people were willing to watch her in something. Even though
it got terrible reviews for the most
part.
But
I would think a Black Widow movie would be better. But I think, make a Black Widow movie, release in February. How can you go wrong?
Marvel will never do that, though.
Why not? You know what they did?
The dead zone.
No, it is not. There is no dead zone for Marvel now because they released Captain America in April.
And it killed.
And then they capped off the summer with Guardians, which August has been a long-standing tradition of being like where you put the less good movie.
Yeah.
And it's the best movie of the summer.
Absolutely.
Marvel has learned. You just make a good movie and people will show up to it. It doesn't matter. Nobody's like, hey, it's July. What's in the theater? Nobody's doing that anymore.
Yeah. This seemed
July
like it was a movie
where the garbage was this year.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah. It's kind of disappointing. So, Guardians of the Galaxy, coming into it, did you know anything about the characters at all?
No. And I didn't need to. I didn't want to. The problem was I was so pumped for Godzilla that I couldn't watch any other trailer. I overhyped myself for that movie. It still delivered.
Yeah.
But I wasn't paying it. I knew I wanted to see Guardians because it looked like a risk, and I like a risk.
It's a huge risk.
I like a risk. I like it when a big studio takes a risk.
Yeah.
Genuinely, a risk is either a big payoff that's great, or it fails. I would rather see that than something safe, though.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is weird. This is spacey. I haven't seen a good space movie in a while, especially since the prequels came out and they were all garbage, and the Star Trek movies suck. So
you mean the new Star Wars movies disguised as Star Trek movies?
They're all stupid. I just wanted something fun. I wanted a good space movie that just was fun.
Yeah. It delivers.
It delivers. Before, you asked me going in.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know anything. I knew it had a talking raccoon with a machine gun. What else do you need to know?
And a giant tree that can only say, I am Groot, over and over again.
I am Groot.
Ain't no thing like me except me.
I had a vague idea from the trailers. The trailers did a really good job of giving the rundown on what would happen and who the characters were, and giving you an idea how weird it was going to be.
Oh, yeah. It was...
I think all the pop music that was in it would have kind of caught me off guard for a little bit if they hadn't thrown someone in the trailer. And they did. They threw it in the trailer. They just pretty much up front, hey, this is what's going to happen. Yeah. You can either come, show up, watch it, and enjoy yourself, or don't come.
And rock out to Blue Suede along the way.
So...
But yeah, I don't even know what to say about it. Because I love the movie so much.
This is what I'll say, and
Okay.
you can respond to this.
Okay.
Because I'm not sure you agree with me 100%.
Okay.
I came home after I watched it the first time, and I put on Facebook, I think I liked Guardians of the Galaxy better than Avengers. There, I said it.
You're not the only one to say it, though.
No, but I put it out there, and there was a little bit of backlash, and then a bunch of people that clamored and agreed with me, the ones who had seen it. And the movie digested with me for a week, and another week. And
then you've seen it how many times?
I've only seen it twice.
Twice? Okay, more than I have, and I want to see it again.
But it's better than Avengers, and I'll tell you why. It's a better movie. The reason people will be more loyal to Avengers, and the only reason, is because they like the characters better. Predetermined like them better. Not like the movie version of them better, but just, I've always been a Hulk fan kind of thing.
Yeah. Except no one's saying they're a Hawkeye fan.
This movie did everything that 10 Marvel movies did in one movie in 2 hours, and it had more emotion than the Avengers. It was more clean. There were no dead spots. It's an excellent, well-cut, well-shot. I'm going to go ahead and say it's the best comic book movie ever made, because it's framed.
Oh, wow. It's
framed and colored and shot and set and acted like a comic book. It doesn't try to the gritty bullcrap realism
that DC's
trying to do.
Yeah.
You don't need. This is absolute proof that you don't need to do that to make a movie emotional and enjoyable and something that people want to see. It can look and feel like a comic book and be successful because comic books are already successful.
Yeah.
You don't have to take comic books and treat them like they're this thing that only nerds will like. Okay? It's something that everybody will like and can relate to. This movie's fantastic.
Yeah,
on every level.
It's very emotional. The beginning of it caught me off guard.
I had no idea that was coming.
Nobody did. Tara was sitting next to me. For those who haven't seen it, there's spoilers coming because we're going to discuss a few things that happen in the movie.
Yeah.
But the movie opens with Peter Quill's mother on her deathbed, and I'm just like, oh my god, this...
Yeah. Does she look like Angelina Jolie to you?
I couldn't tell.
She looks like a bald Angelina Jolie to me.
Well, when I see it again, I'll let you know. But it starts out with that emotional punch, Peter Quill. And I still think, because his mother desperately tries to grab his hand because she wants to tell him who his father was, because it's like the mystery that comes along again at the very end of the movie. And he doesn't do it. He runs outside and gets captured by Yondu, who's the leader of the Ravagers, I believe. Yes. And that's Michael Rooker.
Yes.
Who starred in Slither that James Gunn made and flopped, which was also a great movie. You should go check that out. But it goes from there. It skips ahead to when he's older, and he's part of the Ravagers, and he steals this artifact that turns out to be an Infinity Gem. So this movie's building towards the entire Infinity Gauntlet storyline, where Thanos, the Mad Titan, decides to kill half of all life in the universe as a wedding dowry to Death, because he's in love with Death, who happens to be a Marvel character.
They don't introduce any of that in the movie.
I know, this is comic book stuff, but they're building up to Thanos gaining the most powerful artifacts in the universe, the Tesseract and all that, putting on a glove and just killing everybody that stands before him. So I'm super excited for all that. They're building towards it. 2018, it's going to go down. But anyway.
Yes.
Peter,
so you cut off guard by the beginning.
I was caught way off guard by the beginning. I'm like, this... I was getting misty-eyed. Tara was openly weeping next to me. I was like, this is too sad. Where's the funny stuff? And that comes later.
It comes almost immediately after that.
When he's all grown up.
Okay, it's just amazing to me that this movie handled tone change without being awkward. It went from being incredibly sad for the first 5 minutes to being goofy, like insanely goofy, like just 5 minutes after that. And then in another 5 minutes, it's kind of an adventure. In another 5 minutes, it goes back to like being emotional again. It's it's all over the place.
And all the main characters have their own like backstories, and they have their own arcs.
This movie is 2 hours, and the reason it's 2 hours is because it's so well written and so well executed.
Mm-hmm.
there's no scene that isn't doing multiple things at a time. There's no scene like in Transformers where you have a character talking and explaining something to you instead of showing you. Okay? This shows you. It shows you right away that he's going to have, in the beginning, he loses his mother. He's going to get abducted. There's a reason that the pop music is in the movie.
Yeah.
And he's going to carry on through the entire movie this burden of what he did to his mother by not grabbing her hand.
Yeah.
All in 5 minutes.
And I theorized that if he grabbed her hand, he would have somehow telepathically knew who his father was.
Okay.
Which is getting... But anyway,
I don't want to go there at all.
I jumped the gun a lot. and
Did
even,
you jump James Gunn? Anyway, and then it takes that gift that his mother gave him, and you wonder what's going to happen with that. And then it does all that in 5 minutes, and it introduces this great pop soundtrack, which is #1 on the Billboard charts right now.
Oh, crazy, right?
And you're thrust into this weird world, but you're hearing familiar things. And you're seeing familiar things. Right away, what threw me, and almost took me out of the movie, was Michael Rooker being Michael Rooker, but blue.
Blue Rooker.
And you called him Space Merle. Which is accurate.
It's very accurate, yeah.
But here's the thing. I at first I was off-put by it, like, not for a long time, like for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
But then the movie's so good it just draws you back in.
You just accept it and move
on.
But
just seeing an alien with a southern accent, like, is weird for me. And then I started thinking, well, these are all aliens. And some of them have British accents, and some of them have... Why would they have any accent?
I know. And what I like is it's such a colorful movie.
It ties into something else that I've always thought. Why do they always have British accents? Why don't they have Italian accents? They're Roman.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
It's just like there's an expectation that is ridiculous for as far as what you see and hear.
Yeah.
I'm totally on board with Yondu having that accent now because Rooker nailed it.
Yeah.
It's such a fun character.
He is.
His part at the end is great. It's one of my favorite parts in the movie when he uses that arrow.
Oh yeah, the whistling arrow of death.
Enough nonsense, Ravager! Time to...
So, I don't want to sit and analyze it. I love this movie. I want to go watch it. I don't want to talk about it.
That's what the majority of people are saying, and that surprised me pleasantly. Is that so many people have accepted this movie? A lot of people are declaring it's the Star Wars of this generation.
I think that's unnecessary. I just think it's just a great movie. It doesn't need to be compared to anything. And I mean, it's inevitably it will be compared to things because even within its own universe. It's unnecessary. When I say I think it's a better film than the Avengers, I think it's unnecessary for people to get upset because they exist in the same universe.
Yeah.
I just thought it was a better, well done movie. Like, there's no Hulk smashing Loki moment.
There is.
What? With
Groot.
Yeah, but
it's kind of a callback to that.
A callback. But it's not as exhilarating.
It's not, but it's still fun.
I mean, when Hulk smashed Loki, that was on par with T-Rex grabbing the raptor.
The theater went nuts every time I seen that. Yeah.
There's no moment like that, but that's the only moment that the Avengers really has that's like that for me.
Well, in the moment where they're all standing back to back and like doing their poses while the aliens come forward, and
but it's like. That's what's a little better about Guardians is that it takes all these concepts that superhero movies cornily, like it's corny how they do it.
Yeah.
And it makes fun of them, but still does them. There are a ton of scenes where they could have gone. They felt like they were going to go sentimental.
Yeah.
And then they made fun of themselves, like when he saves Gamora.
Yeah.
And they're laying there, and he starts talking about how heroic it was that he did that, and she just like blows him off. Or the whole sequence where they're getting ready to attack Ronan before he invades the planet.
Mm-hmm. And they're all standing in a circle.
They're standing in a circle, and there's the rousing speech, and then finally Rocket Raccoon stands up and he goes, "Okay, now we're standing around like a bunch of jackasses. Are you happy?" And it's just like, it takes those moments that are corny in a movie and it makes fun of them while still doing them more effectively than most movies. even this, like, when they're going on their way to attack Ronan, and they all come out down the hallway in slow motion, and they just look so...
It's supposed to be like that badass movie moment where the team gets together and walks in slow-mo
yeah,
to go kick some ass.
It's like so tongue-in-cheek the way they do it. I mean, Rocket's the one grabbing his crotch.
Yeah.